and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ness. I like to talk about books. Today I wanted to talk to you about the books that I'm planning on reading in February. February is the month of Valentine's Day. It's romantic. We're coming out of the winter months. So I'm very inspired by the romance of February, and you can see that in my TBR. Some of them I've wanted to read for a long time, they just didn't feel very wintry. So I have saved them. I have been looking forward to my February TBR and curating it. Whether I stick to it or not is another story, but actually I've stuck to my October, November, December and January TBRs apart from 2 books, which I may fit in if I have the opportunity to. But these are the 7 books that I hope to read in the coming weeks. The first one, I know I've just been talking about like a romance and everything, so you're going to be like, why are you punishing yourself? It's The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I'm super nervous for reading this, but I've been wanting to read either this or Circe for a long time. They've been like on my periphery. I just know that I need to read them, but I am also ready to get my heart broken. I can't imagine this being a happy romance. It's Greek mythology. I believe it's a gay romance. I've been putting this off for the longest time. Pray for me. It's based on the contents of the Iliad. I think I'm saying that right. It's about Achilles, but I don't know much more than that. And I don't want to know much more than that. I feel like I'll put myself off. First book of the month. The next book is The Henna Wars. This is a young adult sapphic romance story. I believe it's a standalone. It's a contemporary story in which a Muslim girl is a lesbian and that's not accepted by her parents. But it's complicated when she meets someone and she's trying to find a way to be her true self. It seems like a quick read and I've not read anything like this before. In the front it says, "To queer brown girls, this is for you." This does have content warnings as well. It says this book contains instances of racism, homophobia, bullying and a character being outed. I have a good feeling about this one. I think Wait, we forgot to do the star predictions. Okay, Song of Achilles. I predict that this is going to be a 3-star read for me. I'm setting my sights low for this one because I could be disappointed. The Henna Wars, I think I'm probably going to rate this 4 stars. The reason I don't think I'm going to enjoy it as much is because it's the contemporary romance, which isn't something I usually enjoy. I want to read it for the underlying topics of this one. Next is Rise to the Sun by Leah Johnson, who is also the author of You Should See Me in a Crown. Another sapphic romance story about 2 girls that meet at a music festival, but something happens at the music festival which causes a tragedy and they're forced together. I'm assuming that is the romance between those 2 characters. They don't know each other prior to going to the music festival. Again, another quick read. A standalone young adult contemporary romance. Sapphic. I've had my eye on this one since it was announced. I've been really looking forward to it. It seems to have all the things that I want from a book in it. I love reading, I love music, I love like the concept of music festivals, even though I've got too much anxiety to actually attend, and I like girls, so, you know. I think this one may be another 4-star read for me. I'm not having too high expectations for this one because it's, again, a contemporary. Next is a book that's been out a long time and I feel like I'm very late to the conversation, and that is The Invisible Life of Addy LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I'm going to be honest, the reason I bought this book is because it's an anniversary edition and it's illustrated with the most beautiful fan art. Like every now and again you have like fan art pictures, and it is just the most stunning book. Oh my god, it's actually signed as well. I didn't know it was signed. I had no interest at all in this story until this special edition came along because, as I say, I'm a collector of books and beautiful books, and this is a beautiful book, so I really wanted to add it to my collection. Had this edition not come out, I would never have bought the normal edition. Because I've not had interest in this book before, I don't really know what this is about. I believe it's about a woman whose life is like a really long period of time. I've heard mixed things about this, and if I'm honest, I've been disappointed by every V.E. Schwab book that I've read so far. So my expectations of this aren't great. I'm going to say this might be a 3-star for me. Maybe a 2, 2.5. I'm not expecting much. I just love the edition. I just love the whole concept of having fan art in an edition. I wish more books would do that. People put a lot of time in fan art and it just gets it more out there, you know. Next is a recent addition to my shelves. I bought this for £2.20 secondhand, but it's in perfect condition, and that is Daughter of the Pirate King. I found out this book because of Booktok, and there is a reason why I added this to my wish list, and I can't remember what that reason was. But then I saw this secondhand and I was like, I have to have that. Took it off my Amazon wish list. I mean, isn't that the best experience? Being able to take books off your Amazon wish list because you're finding them for a matter of pounds secondhand. So I can't remember the reason that I specifically wanted this book, but pirate stories, I need more of them. It says it has a slow burn in romancing, which is why I've added it to my February TBR, but I just don't read enough books with pirates. On the front it says, readers should rejoice because we now have a Lady Jack Sparrow on our hands. Like, that's what I need. Just give me that. Give me more of that. On Goodreads that this book is classed as young adult, and the main character is a 17-year-old pirate captain called Alossa, and she is trying to find a map which would lead to a legendary treasure trove, and she allows herself to be captured by an enemy ship because she thinks it might lead her closer to the search for this map. But she does find that it has a very attractive first mate. I don't want to set myself too high expectations for this one. Gonna go in with a 3-star again, but I'm really hoping that it lives up to the hype that Booktok gives it. The next 2 books I literally got yesterday because I just felt like I just needed something else from my February, and I felt like that thing was smut. I mean, what is like a Valentine's Day week without a bit of a smut in a book? So yeah, I ordered these and they came last night. Despite having all of these books to read, I've bought books to read straight away. It's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible. So the first one is King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett Sinclair, who is the author of A Touch of Darkness, which I have read. I rated it 3 stars. It was okay. That one was Hades Persephone retelling. I believe this one is a little bit more original. I don't know too much about it, but I've bought it because I understand the author's style, and I think it's going to be good for February. The main character is being married off to a vampire king in the hopes that this will end an extremely long war, but she does plan on killing him. She fails her assassination attempt, and her new husband, the vampire king Adrian, threatens that he will raise her as the undead, which is the thing that she hates the most. So she sticks it out at his court, and she starts developing chemistry with her new husband. I'm not expecting much from the plot. Come on, I'm looking for smut. I'm just not ready to give myself to Ice Planet Barbarian. I'm only just dipping my foot into the smut. I think this is going to be another 3-star read, if I'm honest. That's what I rated A Touch of Darkness. And the last book on this list, which is another one that came yesterday, is The Crown of Gilded Bones. This is book 3 in the From Blood and Ash series, which is a series that, I don't know, it's okay. I wouldn't like rave about it. I rated book 1 and 2 3 stars, but I did think it had well written smut. So, you know, sue me. We are abandoning the premise of good plot in February. If I'm honest, I don't understand this world at all. I know that I'm going to be reading this like not enjoying it because I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But I know I'll be rewarded between the complicated plotline. The Crown of Gilded Bones, I think, is going to be another 3-star read like book 1 and book 2, although I have heard that book 3 may be slightly worse. This doesn't seem to be as well received as the other ones. So they are the books that I'm hoping to read in February. Please let me know what you thought of them. If you have read them, do you think my star predictions are realistic? Let me know what you're planning to read in February, and if you have any good fantasy, romance, smut recommendations for me. I pretty much live on Booktok these days. And that is my For You page. It's went from dog and cat videos to just spicy book ratings. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!